What's going on, Predators? I just wanted to start this video off by saying thank you guys for your interest in the Predator grips. They are selling like cracking on Third Ward, man. They are just going over so well. These grips are really a child of mine that I've like really built and raised up, and I'm really excited to see that you guys like them. So check those out if you're interested at apod.company.site or the new address, which is apexpredatorod.com. Check those out and really put your hands on the grips for yourself, because I think once you do, you'll really like them. I've gotten some really great feedback about them that are doing really well. So check those out. Thanks for watching, and let's get into the video. So recently I went on right before my elk hunt, whenever I went to Utah, I went on a little bit of a mission to try to fix this Bino harness. If you remember, I did a video, I'll put a link up here somewhere, where basically I did a review of the Bino harness here, and one of the things I loved is that it had magnets in it, and the magnets really made sure that it had a very good positive closure, and that worked really well. The problem with those that we found last year on our elk hunt, those magnets in the harness were actually throwing off the compasses, not only in our phones. I usually keep my phone right here in this pouch, but whenever it was the phone or the compass on my Garmin, where my Garmin GPS were close to the Bino harness, it would actually throw off the compass. As soon as I moved it away, it would be okay. A lot of times I'd have to recalibrate my phone compass to make it work again. But the problem was those magnets in there, and there are some really thick neodymium magnets that were in maintaining that closure, and they worked really well. But those magnets being there was it was a real problem. So one of the issues we were having with the maps on the hunt was that, you know, whenever we pull out our Onyx maps or whatever we were using hunt stand to go and find which direction we need to go on the hunt, the compass was thrown off. So there were several times where we would end up walking in big circles trying to get back to camp, because we were so lost because of our compass being off. So that can be a real issue, especially whenever you're hiking 6, 8 miles, 10 miles through the wilderness. We were only doing about 4 or 5 miles at the maximum every day, so it wasn't a huge deal. But at the same time, having the magnets separated from your compass or your tracking system or your mapping system is going to be key. So what I decided to do is set out on a mission to figure out how to fix this, and I tried doing a lot of different things. The first step was I removed all the magnets out of there. It was actually fairly easy, but I was trying to figure out a way to reclose the Bino harness so that it would, you know, still maintain the same function of keeping my binoculars closed. I tried several different things. I tried 3D printing some different tools. I tried, you know, remaking a note clasp that clips on here to strap it on there. In the end, the real fix was probably the most simple thing I could have thought of. But the funny thing was once I removed all these magnets, the fix was really simple, is that actually I didn't even need to do anything, because the harness still stays closed. So once I fold this lid over, you can see right here that there is a little bit of a pressure on the lid with these buckles. Or normally this would snap it closed with the magnets. Now I just have to kind of fold it closed, and it stays closed. I can bend over, I can do all sorts of things, and this is not going to let my bar nose fall out. Even if I don't tuck that little flap lid in there, just doing it like this, it's still a very secure closure, right? It's not gonna fall out. All right, real quick, guys, I'm just gonna show you this, the compass update here. So basically this is the compass on my Garmin GPS here. You can see it's fairly accurate here with I think north is just that direction there. So whenever I bring the magnet in here, this is just a single one of these magnets. You can see, let me bring this over here, so you can see how just one of these magnets affects the compass here and will throw it off. So it does not like that whenever that magnet gets close. This Marsupial Bino harness has 6 of these things in there, and so you can see how far it throws off the compass, especially at the right angle. It can really throw this compass off just by rotating these magnets. There's so many of these magnets. I want to show you how strong these little magnets are. So all 6 of these magnets together, the combined weight is 1.3 ounces. So basically about 1.3 ounces for these magnets here. So definitely they are you're going to save a little bit of weight by doing this, by taking these off. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to try to pull these things apart. You can see it's quite a job to pull them apart because they want to align automatically. So I got a couple of them off here because there's too much of a pain to worry about. But again, I can take this spatula here. This is what I use for my 3D printing to scrape stuff off. And you can see, watch this. When you see how far away that was whenever it activated, it's very strong. So now they're side by side here. I can also show you how. And they come together with some force. So these magnets are, again, insanely strong, probably stronger than they need to be. All right, so basically what I did here to remove the magnets, you can see I opened the lid here. There was 3 magnets right here. And so all I did was I just took a knife. You can feel the magnet underneath the fabric there. So I just took an X-Acto knife, or actually I was using a surgical blade, but same thing. And I made a straight incision across there. And then I was able to just push the magnet out. So there's like 3 layers of fabric in here, as you can see in this incision. So there's the outer, this on my Bino harness, this is the green fabric here. Then you've got a kind of like a foam insulating layer. And then you've got another like nylon kind of webbing layer. I don't know if you can see that here, but that little layer inside of there, and then the magnet is underneath there. So you might have to incise across all that to pop that little magnet out. I haven't glued this one back closed yet, but you can see with that fabric glue that I've got, you can see how it's a nice durable, stretchy fabric coated material here, so it keeps it where it's fairly clean. And I'm sure you guys could probably do a better job than this. I'm not a seamstress and I'm not a fabric guy, but this was the incisions I made right there. On the back side here, this is where I was trying to make something. So you can see the incisions look a little bit cleaner on here, but same thing, there's like 3 layers of fabric. This has not been closed up, so you can see the little incision right there. But I didn't really need to close it up, but I will eventually. I'll put some more of this fabric glue, that fabric glue on there. But I made the 2 incisions there. This one I was really experimenting with. This is where I 3D printed a little base here, and what I was trying to do is make it to where I could put a strap going from one side underneath that and come over here to keep it closed. But without the magnets, like I said, this flap does stick a little bit, or sticks up a little bit. But like I say, whenever I had the Bino harness in this position where I'm wearing it, I can actually use that to tuck that little flap down, and it holds it in place with no issues. And then if I need to retrieve it, opens up just fine. The only downside to not having the magnets in there is that I actually have to get a real secure closure. I have to just tuck that in. But again, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, and really didn't cause me any issues. So even like I say with this, I can fold it, it stays open, and then whenever I close it, you can see it closes just fine. Keeps everything closed up over here as well. But like I say, I just have that little tuck that needs to happen. But with the Bino harness being worn, that tuck is not an issue at all. So I was trying to make something, like I said, a strap where I could like hook it on here and things like that. And if y'all want to see me do something a little to get that a little bit better closure, I'll keep developing that little project here. Again, you see this kind of mess right here as I try to use super glue. Don't use super glue on fabric. I learned that the hard way. Not a seamstress again. Use this like fabric glue here, which I have right here. And this is what I used. It's called Liquid Stitch. So this is an instant bond for iron-on stuff. If you see, that's what I used right here on the patch on the front too. By the way, I'm going to start selling these patches soon. If y'all want them, go on the website apexpredatorod.com and you can buy these patches. But basically, again, I just went ahead and used the Liquid Stitch here, and that's what really sealed these up really well. I just put a little bit inside, and I put some on the outside, and then I just clamped it closed so to keep it hold it closed. So, but if y'all want to see me try to make a little 3D print, a little clasp here to put on the website for you guys, let me know. I could work on something like that and keep developing that. Now I still do have the magnetic closure on my rangefinder, and that's because whenever I'm keeping my compass, my Garmin GPS unit, or my phones, I keep them over here on my left side, and so they're far enough away from the magnets over here that it doesn't cause any issue. And I like whenever I can hold my rangefinder pocket open just by flipping this all the way open. So I wanted to keep the magnets on the rangefinder pocket here so I can easily have access to my rangefinder. But like I say, whenever I keep my GPS and everything else, I keep it over here on the other side so that it doesn't mess up my Onyx map. So I did use this in my elk hunt this year in 2024. I'm going to have a video coming about that soon. Unfortunately, we didn't find any elk, but we learned some great lessons as always. But like I say, I'm going to be, I used this on that hunt and everything worked really well. So I didn't have any issues with the magnets causing my GPS to go off. And again, I have magnets over here on my Bino harness. Again, did not cause any issues whatsoever. I had my Garmin GPS unit again over here on this side as well. Again, no issues with the compass. It worked perfectly fine. All in all, just make sure you're careful about magnets. Although I love my magnets, like I say, it will mess up your compass. But thanks for watching this video, guys. It's just a quick update on this project that I undertook. Shorter, easier, simpler explanation or answer to the problem than I really expected going into it. So just take the magnets out and you still got a great functioning Bino harness. I'm going to keep this thing probably for another couple years because I have no issues with it, even without the magnets in it. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep defying the odds.